welcome to Club Tweed on a magnificent sunny day for the quarterfinals of the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championship. We're down to the last 8 players. On rink 1 today we have Cole Pritchard playing Jeffrey Geary. They'll play over 21 ends, and how they got here for the final, they're about to start. They've had a little roll-up. Cole was to beat the local champion here, Doug Kleinhand's 21-19 yesterday afternoon, and Jeffrey got through Kevin Milne 21-9. They're bowling north-south, north in this direction at the moment. There's a lovely clubhouse in the background. There's all 8 players, all state representatives, both male and female. It's an open competition, which is great to see. And the marker in this match is also a state and national player, Patricia Eakin. And there's 4 fairly good bowls to start with. We thank our sponsors as well. We've got 5 sponsors, including Magnificent Club Tweed, for hosting the event. It's organised by the Maroon Arm Bowlers Assn of Queensland. They basically pick the teams for the state and national sides. And with the help of Club Tweed and the other 4 sponsors, Goodrich Australia, Hunter Bowls, based in Sydney, Taylor Bowls, based worldwide, and Mac Marks, those that put in the canopies and shaded structures for the bowling greens to help those stay away from any skin cancers or blemishes from the sun. Taking the wider hand, forehand down. Just looks a little narrow to get shot. It looks like he might be 1 down at this stage. So 1 player from Kawana, which is Cole, bowling now with the blue and white aero bowls, both using dynamics, both size 5, so there's no advantage here whatsoever in the bowls they're using, other than the colours are a little different. Not a bad idea to put 1 through to the back there, just in case Jeff takes a little bit of weight with this jack. Opening end of the game. Give it a good grass. Has it got the legs to get there? Whoa, just a bit unlucky there. So probably 1 down. Patricia will sort that out and then they'll confirm it. Almost no breeze to speak of today. Anything that comes from the south is really protected on this green by the clubhouse. Magnificent facility. So both players from the Sunshine Coast. Kawana, a very strong club, both in men's and women's bowls, along with a great junior program up there. I know Barry Lester's up there now looking after the juniors. And they've recruited a couple of very good players for their stronger club sides as well in the last couple of years up there. Cole taking it to full length on the tee. Now, as we look at them, the left side of the screen's a narrow side, and Cole's bowling on the wider hand. I don't know if he's given enough grass there to stay out. Predominantly the grasses in Queensland, there's tiff dwarf on the greens, and because the greens are so flat, the grain tends to grow towards the afternoon sun. So if there's any grain in the grass, it'll push it towards the left as we look at it, or it'll hold it up if you're coming from the other hand, which Jeff's is doing here. So it's a narrower side, this. It's got a little bit of weight on it again, just enough to take the jack with him though. Good start. both bowls and Jack stayed on the green. Look about halfway to the ditch. So will Cole stay on the wide hand? He has. He's given it a bit more grass this time. The weight's not bad. Great line. I think Cole will stay on the narrow hand here. There's enough room there to bowl it up the side. And as a arm bowling competition, there are 3 or 4 varieties of arms. Jeff using the more known HBDs, DHBs. They come in different lengths. They've now got an adjustment with them. You can put different size bowls. Initially, the size 5 was ideal for them, but now they've got a little extra attachment you can put on there and bowl with the smaller 3s and 4s, probably even down to the 1s and 2s if need be. Cole sticking to the wide hand. Still not enough weight there, so Jeffrey holding shot at this stage. Cole's got one of the shorter, they call them sawn-offs. He said he might have found it on the side of the road or something like that, but he's making very good use of it. Jeff running into the short bowl. So these two are on green 1. You've got Jennifer Holt and Colin Bray playing on green 2. We'll keep you updated with their scores as we go along. Graham Ott and Frederick Smith on rank 3. Steve Mexted and Heather Hodgson on rank 4. So they're your 8 finalists. Cole did pick up 2 on that first end. He's got a bit more weight on this one, but is it wide enough? Well, Cole's got a free bowl here. He can take the jack with him, and we'll just draw it level for a 2 to even up the game. As it says on the screen there, first to 21 ends. In the round robin to start the championship, they only played 15 ends. It was groups of 3 with one person to go through to the next round. Too much weight there, so Cole should pick up 1, so the score will be 2-1 at the end of 2 ends. Doesn't matter how many ends we play, it's the first to 21 as the winner. Cole, in his round robin group, played against John Renwick and Sam Granata, and Jeff, in his round robin, was against David Crow and Gordon Usher, which was played yesterday morning. Each played 2 games, and the odd person outmarked the other game. Just a beautiful morning, hardly a breath to speak of, not a cloud in the sky. Typical winter weather on the Gold Coast. As we get the scores to you for the other rinks, they'll come up on the right-hand side of the screen there. There's a bit of a knack to bowling with these arms. You don't always have to put the bowl in straight up and down. If you put on a little bit of a tilt, you can influence what happens in the first half of the roll in terms of the curvature of the bowl. I think once you get the hang of it, it's just a matter of timing to let the bowl go basically the bottom of the arc there so it rolls smoothly. I had a little bit of a go of myself actually with Colin Bray's arm. And I'm not saying it was easy, but it was easier than I thought it would be. A good opening bowl there for Jeff. He's persisting on the narrow side. I suspect Cole will go to the wider side. You can see how much shorter that arm is. I play my bowls, a lot of it at Helensvale Bowls Club, and there's a bowler there I play with quite often, Ray Glasser, who uses the short version, and he's very efficient with it. Cole's come up a little over half a metre short. Great amount of grass. That makes it hard for Jeff now because he is going to struggle to get under that bowl because this side doesn't turn that much. One of my fellow members down there, Darren Jackson. Hello to Darren. I know you would have played here, or you're playing here in the pairs the next couple of days. Actually with Ray Glasser, I believe. Just wait, just a little over. Again, it's hard because he's got the fear of running into that front bowl and actually knocking it in. It's easier if you're bowling the wider hand, as Col is. And he'll be aiming to sit on Jeff's bowl there in behind the jack. Looks a little underweight again. And Jeff's going to the narrow side again. That bowl's probably a little too wide for him to use, so he's just looking to draw around the front bowl of Col's. Jeff plays his bowls at Mooloolaba. Lovely facility on the Sunshine Coast. Well done. Yeah, just under jack high, or jack level as they'd say in New Zealand. Cole's going to come down and have a look at that because he'll be interested to see where that is in relation to the jack. He's got a couple of options here. He can play a little bit of weight onto that bowl and sit it out, and maybe holding 3 if he stays. Or he could come off that onto the jack, or if he's a little bit narrow, turn his front bowl in. And I'm sure he's just working out there which one's second and third shot. So if he's got 2 second shots there, the 2 blue bowls in the front, I think he'll have a bit of a run at this with pace. If not, then he'll certainly draw. So we're down to the last 8 in the Queensland Arm Bowlers title. Directly after this game, we'll be playing the semi-finals and the final. The final will be played on rink 1. The semi-final, probably not. We may move to rink 2 or 3. He's gone the narrow hand. Looks like it's just draw weight. He's given it plenty of grass. You're doing well for this to turn back. So 3 bowls down. So Jeff doesn't need to cover anything at the back here. He'll stay on the narrow side and draw another one in between those 2 front blues, and the jack would be ideal, just blocking Cole's avenue. It's a nice track it's on. It just depends on the weight here. It's good, gives him 2, but he has exposed the jack now. I'll look for Cole to stay on the narrow hand again. So Patricia said they're jack level. Going back to the wider hand because he's going to try and sit the shot bowl itself. Does he send it out far enough? I don't think he has. Well, it's a comfortable 2 to Jeff, puts him in the lead. These guys have played on a number of occasions, and I don't know that Jeff's beaten Cole all that many times. But a nice start. One thing you don't want to do is, drop a few in the first 3 or 4 ends and be struggling for the rest of the game to stay with it. When we can, we'll bring you those scores on the other rinks. See on the rink beside there, the Helensvale shirt, that's Cole Bray. And he's playing against Jennifer Holt. Cole has the orange bowls. As I said before, it doesn't matter how many ends you play, it's just getting the first score to 21. Beautiful surface out there. Probably rolling in the mid-teens, around the 13.5, 14 mark. Again, they're playing the long end. Jeffrey's put it on the tee. It's quite an art to be able to roll it to the tee. One thing when you're playing singles here, if you make a mistake rolling the jack and the other person gets it, and all of a sudden decides to play short ends, which you may struggle at, you can actually lose the momentum in the game. Good grasp for this hand. Got a little nibble. That's a good opening bowl. Cole's been looking to bowl on the wider hand. You can see the flag in the background now blowing and helping that turn in from that side. So he's decided to go down the narrow hand, either sit the bowl or draw the shot.
That's just your chat.
Yeah. And he's put in a beauty. They'll be asking who's holding here, I would think, because that'll make a decision which way you're going to play. See there, Cole Bray and Jennifer Holt 1-all. Similar score for Fred Smith and Graham Ott. And Steve's jumped out 4-0 over Heather. Now he's staying on the narrow hand here, looking either to promote his bowl or a fraction narrow and take out the bowl of Cole's. Looked like a fairly good release from Jeff. Going to catch a bit of it or not? Might just knock it in, unfortunately. No. I'll wait it. I think Cole will now change to the wider hand. He'll be looking to either take the jack or sit the bowl as we see it just left of the jack. Giving it plenty of grass. Just draw weight. Uh-oh. Ooh, just a nudge. I don't think it moved it though. So Jeff's changed to the wider hand. He hasn't bowled one bowl this hand yet, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of read he gets on it. And he's played with weight, so he wasn't going to play as much grass, but it still turned quite a bit. I think that's one of the harder things to do with these bowling arms is actually bowl a flat-out drive. Simply because the bowl doesn't always come out straight, it wobbles a bit. It's hard to swing that arm that quickly to get the pace on it. That might be in the ditch too. Well, from the weight these two are playing, I don't know who thinks they're holding or not. The marker may have just said, look, it's a measure, and they're playing as if they're down. And both with aerodynamics, size 5s. I'll look for a weight again here. No, he looks like draw weight. He's looking to sit the blue. Oh, he may pick up the jack here. And has. And that's at least one. The white one in the front of your screen will be shot. So Jeff holding one. Plenty of options here for Cole. He can hit either of his own bowls, or he can draw. If he tries to draw on the narrow side, there's not much chance of getting Jeff's bowl out of there. So he's gone to the wider hand. If he's got weight, he's looking to sit the white out of there. And that's what he's trying to do. He just doesn't get it flush. I think Jeff might extend his lead here, 4-2. Patricia's not looking like she's measuring Witcher's shot, so it seems clear to me. Quite a good head there. Yep. The quarterfinals starting this morning at 9 o'clock. We're looking to start the semis around about 11:15, something like that, depending on how long these games take. Singles matches can be over in an hour or less, and sometimes they'll take 2.5, closer to 3 hours. Depends how tight the scores are. And we're hiding behind that screen there on the veranda. Persisting with the narrow side, giving it plenty of grass for that side. But the weight's good, just under jack level. Persisting with the wide hand is Colin. Still a little bit under with his weight. He's just struggling coming this way to get the right weight. Been metre and a half short and touch narrow. Once you get the right weight on the wide hand, it gives you more options to play if there's bowls in the way, whereas a narrow hand, you've got to come through bowls to get there. So just played wide, doesn't want to turn Colin's bowl over. Unfortunately, that makes it hard to draw a shot. May turn his in or use it. Little slide. Oh, thank you. That's hard for Cole to get out now. So he's going to narrow hand here. No, he's gone wide again. Must have the weight to get here. He's got to get in behind the jack if he doesn't take that bowl. Just not picking the turn on the green at the moment. Often takes 2 or 3 ends, but they're now played about, this will be their 5th end, so you should be getting used to it by now. They had a roll up. Just playing on the wide hand this time, simply because he doesn't want to move the jack. He'd be looking to sit something close to his shot bowl. And no one's got one behind the jack yet either, so I think Cole will play on the narrow side here and get it just past the jack, so then he can run into that bowl and have a catcher. No, he's lining up on the wide side again. Giving that a lot better grass. Reaches the apex of the arc and now it's swinging in. Useful, but still not behind. So Jeff's in the box seat here. He just doesn't want to move his bowl. It's short of the jack. He can put himself in behind or use Cole's bowler to come off that for a second shot. A little bit late letting it go, so it jumped up in the air and it'll lose weight. Just didn't let the lever release early enough there. Cole's coming down to have a look, but I don't think there's much he can do here. He can't really come off his own bowl and get shot. The one on the left-hand side as we look at it. The narrow side, it may turn enough to get shot. I don't know the turn enough to hit the jack. It's only his bowl he's going to run into, so I look for him to go on the narrow side. 4-2 down. Even if he plays weight and hits the shot bowl out of there, the best he's going to do is pick up 1. And that runs with a bit of risk, because if he hits a wide blue and white bowl of his own and doesn't stay in the head, he'll go down 2. So I don't look for him to play weight. And all his bowls brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, Goodrich, the clothing company, Australia, for all your bowling apparel, tailor-made bowls, not just the bowls, the accessories that go with it. Max, the company that puts in the canopies at Helensvale, 2 wonderful covers there of our synthetic greens. Hunter Bowls in Victoria, in Sydney, Castle Hill in Sydney. That's a good-looking angle on this if it's got the weight. Just doesn't have the weight. And Club Tweed. Obviously the venue we're using here, wonderful facility. 3 greens here in front of the clubhouse and one nice little green hidden in behind. So Jeffrey will pick up another here to increase his lead to 5-2. The game on rank 2 is still quite close. 2-all, Cole Bray and Jennifer Holt. Frederick Smith jumped out to 5-1 against Jeff Ott. And Steve has consolidated his lead 5-1. Was 4-0 against Heather. Yeah, still a long end to persisting with. And just won the last 2 or 3 ends, so I don't have an issue with that. Cole may shorten it up when he gets a chance. That wind, just a light breeze, let's say from the east, southeast. Comes around the clubhouse. They'd be feeling it at this end of the rink. The end closest to the clubhouse would be fairly still. On the narrow hand, might be a little bit under the jack. The weight's just a touch shy. Not a bad opener though. That might be in Cole's eye playing the backhand too. Wonderful these bowling arms. They've kept a lot of the older bowlers in the game and those with hip and knee issues. Cole's the older of these two, 82, and Jeff just 80. That's a nice bowl. He can use that and coming in with his next as well. But it's still open on the narrow side for Jeff. That's good. Again, it's all down to the weight because the line's fairly healthy. Little rub. Not quite enough. Oh, that's awkward for Cole. That white bowl is short. I think he'll still stay out there, probably come under his blue bowl for a second shot if he can. Yeah, he's a little narrower. It's a good line. Okay, the weight's not there, but now that's an issue for Jeff because that's in his eye. So he needs to play wide of that, turn his own bowl over. Let's see if he persists on the narrow side. And we're looking at the quarterfinals here. Stays wide enough, it's going to move the white, but I don't think he's going to stay wide enough. But he's bowled second shot there, so that's healthy. That still doesn't hurt Cole though, because even if he runs into the white there, he still promotes the blue. Looking for something just behind the jack if you can here. Send it out a little wider. Is he going to duck under? No. It's a cluster up there, so they both come to have a look at the head. And for Jeff, there's not a lot of options here. He could play weight off the inside of Cole's blue bowls, but he runs the risk of running into that short blue bowl. More likely to bowl onto the white. Try and turn that over 3 or 4 times to get in the count. Cole's options are a lot better at this stage, depending on where Jeff leaves this bowl. Just a little murmur of the planes landing at the Coolangatta Airport in the background. About 8 to 10 kilometres away from where we are. He's given it plenty of grass, so he's looking to draw around. I think he's a little bit wide for what he's asking. Stayed up. So Cole's looking to play his backhand again. That blue bowl, its third shot at the moment, if he can turn that over or just draw underneath that. Breeze helping turn the bowl in with his backhand. Coming from a little bit from right to left as we look at it, but it's very light. All down to weight. The line's good. I don't think the weight's there. Just a single, but he now has control of the jack. 5 to 3. So Cole's got a pretty good reputation. He's played not only for Queensland but also for New South Wales in the Open and the over 60s, and also the state RSL. There was a big day on at Helensvale yesterday on Saturday for the RSL. So he's got a fairly impressive background. And won the Australian pairs in 1995, including model state titles, both for Queensland and New South Wales. Still a little narrow with that read, but the weight's a lot better, and you see he's shortened the end up a little this with the jack, which I suspect would happen because it seems like Jeff likes the longer end. Starting line's maybe a fraction wide, but he could sit the blue. Cole sending it out wide again. So not turning as much. It won't hurt in behind because if Jeff's playing backhand with a little bit of weight, you need a catcher there. Just past the jack on that side. That's useful. It's a big high follow through with that bowling arm. He's got it this time. Still had weight on it. Cole's changed. He's going backhand here. They've been giving it plenty of grass on the forehand side, and I think he's given it a bit too much grass here, unless it's coming. That's as much as we've seen anything turn all morning on that hand. And that's awkward now for Jeff. Patricia's having a look to see if that's shot or not. She's saying one down. So the front bowl's shot. So Jeff's just got to draw weight here, draw a jack high for shot. I don't think his bowls will move enough to get around the front bowl of Cole's. He's given it enough grass. We saw Cole's turn a bit. See how much this one turns. It has, but it doesn't have the weight. Now, if Cole can play a little bit of weight here onto Jeff's white bowl, he pick up 3, possibly 4. And he sent it out there. He's not trying to draw. He's trying to sit this white. If he sits it on the inside, oh, it's a good effort. Probably only enough for two. But it's give something for Jeff to sit on now. You don't see a lot in club singles matches is the players walking down to the head after three bowls to have a look at what's going on. They tend to solely rely on the marker's call, asking the relevant questions. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but at least you've got a good picture of what's up there once you've walked down and had a look at it. Staying on the narrow hand. Looking to sit the blue just to the right of the jack. Ooh, might be close to second. Certainly at least one down. If it's two, it'll level the scores at 5 apiece. And the way Patricia's going, I think she's about to put up 2 tokens. Yep, 5 apiece. As I said, it doesn't matter how many ends you play, it's getting to 21's the goal. Colin and Jeff in rank 2, their score hasn't changed, 2-all. Steve's maintained that 4-shot gap. Graham's closed up a little bit on Frederick Smith. Back to 5-3. A little underweight. Forcing Jeff to go on the wide hand. He's only bowled one here before and he was quite narrow. One with the right weight, that is. He had a drive as well, which was narrow. Reasonable weight. He's holding shot. I don't think that'll be the shot at the end of the end though. Cole again is a little narrow, but it looks much better weight. And is. We've just got to go that side again, so you better get used to a line. Some bowlers, when they're trying to pick these things, they look at something on the bank to aim at. Others will look at an apex of where the bowler's the furthest out to the side before it turns back. Both are correct. Let's see this follow through. That was a little smoother. It wasn't quite as flicky. If the weight's there, it's good. I don't know, it's struggling a little. Yeah, just blowing a bit of smoke. Much better grass though. All these games closing up. This game all level on 5. You can see on rank 2 has only 1 the difference, 2 the difference on rank 3. And Steve has just maintained that 4-shot gap on rank 4. Better grass for Cole. That's definitely the shot. Probably 2. I know Jeff needs to get it to the head. A narrow start again. Little rub here wouldn't hurt. Just motored through. Nothing really to try and protect here for Collie. Just draw another. Don't need anything behind. Jeff has done one catcher there, but it's quite wide of the jack. Needed to miss that, but no damage. Didn't get it in the count, but he hasn't hurt his 2 count, and he's got a bowl in Jeff's way now coming in. Well, that's out there with a bit of weight. So Colin was 2 or 3 down on Jeff early. He's now going to be a couple up on him at 7-5. Still very light breeze here. Wonderful sunny conditions to play in. Well protected this end of the rink. You'll feel a little bit of breeze down the far end. And the Maroon Bowlers Arm Association for their organisational efforts for this event and the selection of state and national teams. They played all day yesterday with the group games on early, groups of 3, 1 to progress, then 2 knockout rounds. And we're watching at the moment the quarterfinals of the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championships. They limited the field to 63 players, hosted by Club Tweed. And we have with us from Club Tweed Emma Boyd, who bowls for Canada, amongst other things. Very talented bowler. Setup's been nice for this event.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to host this event here at Club Tweed. What a gorgeous day. What a gorgeous Sunday to be playing bowls on one of the best greens up and down the coast at the moment. So we're really lucky to host this event and to work in conjunction with the Arm Bowlers Association as well, the Queensland Arm Bowlers Association. And everything's been running smoothly, knock on wood, so far.
That all goes well for the administration when that happens.
Absolutely.
You've got foresight in what you do. Always intrigues me, some the bowlers, the bowl with the arms, the bowling arms, some roll the jack with their hands and some roll it with the stick. Do you think that they should, if they roll with the stick, they should roll the jack with the stick as well as part of the deal?
This year we actually had to put that in the conditions of play, just talking with Pat and Gordon just about that. So it is in the conditions of play. They can roll the jack with their arm, their bowling arm, or their physical arm. I don't know. I think that it might give them a little bit more feel sometimes to roll the jack continuously with the actual artificial arm. You're just getting into the flow a little bit more, but it's up to each individual.
There's Jeff there taking the narrow hand. Maybe not enough to get shot. I see saying hello to Taylor down in Victoria. He thinks it's a little bit cooler down there than it is up here at the moment. I had a couple of friends down there playing golf early last week, and they said it was maximum 12, maximum 9 for 2 days in a row, and they didn't get out of their apartment. He said it did fine up a little, but it's got back cool again down there. Cole on the wide hand, picking up the jack, and got
Beautiful shot.
He's been a little bit narrow and a little bit underweight on that hand so far, so he's now got his feel, so he's getting around the jack a little more often.
Maybe just not trusting it as much because it does turn a lot more than this narrow hand that Jeff's playing at the moment. He's in the area.
Ooh, that little kiss didn't help. That's the trouble when you're bowling on the narrow hand there. It's hard to get around the bowls that are short.
For sure. Colin had a long night last night as well as Jeffrey. We finished up at about 7:30. Jeff's game going for quite some time. These two both played 2 post-sectional knockout games last night after playing their 3 sectional games. So They would have maybe woken up a little bit sore this morning.
Yeah, that's a big day of bowling because it would have
For
started
sure.
at 9 in the morning and
Yes.
finished at 7:30 at night.
Yes.
Jeff needs to get one in here. The weight's pretty good too. I'm going to say might roll back for shot.
Yeah.
No, he's still one down. Cole's on the blue markers and Jeff's on the red markers with Patricia. I was just saying earlier, this green's always been narrow as we look at it on the right-hand side and wide on the left-hand side, predominantly because on the right direction is the west where the sun sets and the grain will grow towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, you do maintain the greens in terms of getting grain out of it, but you can't help it. It's a runner style of grass and it will grow in that direction, whereas if you're playing generally in New Zealand or down south Melbourne, they don't really have the grainy grasses. The blade itself stands.
Yeah,
quite vertical.
absolutely. It's always typically been like that. As long as I've been here, rink one's always had that really wide swoopy hand and then that narrow hand next to the ditch side.
And Cole sent it out in good direction again.
Absolutely. Coming back strong now. Beautiful shot.
It's got to be close for a second. Yeah,
Two.
Patricia's calling it 2 now. All right, Jeff. Leaked a couple of shots the last 3 or 4 ends. He had a 2 or 3 shot lead early on. Well, he kept it narrow at that time, but
Perfect weight for it.
be another 2, take him to 9. Still a long way to 21. But once you can get a gap of 5 or 6, it's always a nice buffer.
Yeah.
So if you have a couple of rusty ends, you're still okay.
Exactly. And I think with singles, the name of the game is just getting to your preferred length, and your first ball effectiveness is always really crucial in singles as well.
Yeah. So he agrees with 2, so it goes to 9-5. The first 4 or 5 ends they bowled almost tee to tee. Both bowlers.
Okay. Yep.
Which is unusual. And then since then, Cole's gone back to what I call roll-up length, about 3/4.
Yeah.
And he's certainly made inroads into Jeffrey's lead and now taken it over. The other games are all quite tight though, on rinks 2, 3 and 4. Either all level or 2 in it.
Yeah, there's going to be some fantastic games today, starting off with this one, and then we'll go into the semi and then the final afterwards. So,
I was saying the semi is going to be around about 11:15, depending on when these games finish and what happens. Yeah, Cole's starting to get his weight right now. And these two have played each other quite a bit because they're both from the Sunshine Coast.
they would know each other's
Yeah.
game fairly well.
Yeah, well, Jeff's Mooloolaba and Cole's up at Kawana. You would have played both those facilities?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Mooloolaba have the cover
Yeah,
like
they
Ellenvale
do.
has?
Yeah. And Kawana, I think
Max?
Kawana will soon to have.
They're going to do one as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
Good. What about Tweed?
Yeah, I think it's definitely on the roadmap in the next sort of 3 to 5 years.
You're fortunate here, you've got 4 grass greens, but with the club having so many members, you've got probably 500 plus bowling members here.
Yeah,
And most of them want to bowl every day because they're not doing much else.
yeah, 100%.
So the wear and tear becomes an issue for grass.
Absolutely. Yeah, last year we did roughly 23,000 just social games. So that's not including our 28 club championships that we host as well. So, yeah, 23,000 bowlers across the greens just in social
Wow.
bowls alone. So it's a pretty big operation, our social bowls.
Better wait for Jeff there, but I don't think he's got it in the count. Cole looks like he's going to play the narrow hand. Where's Jeff's bowl finished there? If he touched that bowl on the right-hand side, he'd probably knock it into shot. So Smart decision to go on this side. Looks like it's got a little bit of weight on it. So he's in good business if he
enough,
can take
yeah.
the jack with the next one.
Exactly. Setting it up for himself very nicely.
I'm not good enough to do that. I'd rather bowl it in close to jack to start with. It's a bit hard to hit the jack when you want to.
And you always do it when you don't want to touch it, do you?
Yes. Especially when your third goes. Now, just bring one in here and don't touch the jack.
Yes.
Speaking of which, going to be
Whoa.
moving it here.
Here we go.
Where's it gone? Oh, he's unlucky.
Look better than 3 down.
But that's still an inviting head to bowl into.
Yep.
Right, if I was Cole, I'd be sending something on the backhand here, around the back. But he's going down the forehand, and I'm not Cole. Maybe a blocker would come in handy.
Yeah, he might also be looking to switch it up first himself. There's not much danger for him to change it up. Yep. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Less of a target.
So 2, maybe 3 there. Jeff needs to bowl into these front bowls. He needs to use them and roll on. 9-5 down. At least 2 down at the moment in this head. This is a chance off the inside of that bowl.
And back to the
Look
jack.
at that.
What a shot.
Look at that. Brilliant.
Great shot.
Gets a round of applause from the locals.
Perfectly played. Great weight for it.
He had a couple of options there. He could have sat the out wide and run in one,
Yep.
but the right thing was the inside bowl. It was perfect for him. Back to 9-6. That's a little more respectable in his eyes because that was going out to double figures
Yeah.
plus. You got much coming up in the way of bowls for yourself?
Not too much. Just heading into our Queensland State Championships, and then obviously we roll into the AO. So yeah, those are probably the main events over the next 2 months for me.
Are there any state events here at Club Tweed?
No, they're all up, sort of Gold Coast centralised. Yeah,
Musgrave, Broadbeach,
Yeah.
those places. yeah.
exactly.
Because I know the AO, they spread them over everything on the golf.
Yes.
They need to. They've got so many participants.
Absolutely.
Have you had a go with one of these arms?
I have.
And? Not quite to this standard?
No, definitely not. No, I definitely commend a lot of people who do transition to the arm. It's not as easy as it looks.
No.
And just as similarly to bowls, it's all about practice. That trigger release, you need to get that timing perfectly.
Yes. Yeah. That was a good opening bowl from Jeff there. And Cole's decided to follow him. I'm surprised he stayed on the wide hand with most bowls here. And if that jack, the bowl's only jack high there or jack level, I would have thought he might stay out there. But the other option here is if he comes in short like he has, he may block Jeff from getting other
Yep.
bowls in there.
And that hand typically, just out of personal experience, it does run a little bit slower in the morning, that tight
Okay.
hand as well. So
It's such a big follow through. To me, when we play golf, so my background's
Yeah,
golf,
yep.
for those that don't know, through the impact area, you want something that's a consistent pace. You need to accelerate prior to that, but you need it consistent through the hitting area. I would think with bowls, it needs to be consistent through the release area.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's hard to judge how far you're bowling it. It's all right to accelerate, but accelerate until just prior to releasing it, and then have a constant pace through release. And when I see that big follow through, to me, that means you haven't got enough on it, and you're trying to increase the speed of the bowl, so
Yeah.
you're struggling to get the right weight.
that's
See, that was better. that
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. Yeah, and you can see it with his bowl that's finishing now.
Yeah, it could be in for counting 2 here,
Yeah.
maybe. So it's rolled on nicely, that one, because it got a good release on it. Unfortunate, but it's all right at the back. So Cole's got to negotiate his 2 front bowls, slide it in between there to kick a
Yeah.
goal, and then maybe sit on Jeff's bowl. He's played a lot of weight here. looking to knock that one in. Come down and have a look again. He likes to look at the head after 3 bowls, Cole. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yep. Also, it's just nice to get into the routine of it and going up and having a look, because it does change the timing of how you play as well.
Mm-hmm.
So him doing it now in the early ends. Just not enough weight on that one.
No, not to get around that front bowl. I mean, obviously you could sit that white bowl out of there, but it's, unless he's going to play the forehand with weight, I still like him going the narrow backhand here, the draw shot.
Yeah, he's probably got more options. Like he can get the inside off of his own, promote his own, split the gap.
So 9-6, 1 down. Hard to get a multiple out of this. Fancy it'd be one either way, depending on how well he bowls this. Still tight games on the other 3 rinks. At most 2 in it.
Playing the other hand, searching for this
Played a
bowl.
lot of bowls. He's played a lot of bowls on this hand, so he should know where it's going with some sort of degree.
And just
great
slip
effort
through the hole.
Cole nods 1, so Jeff will grab the jack. And Jeff early on was bowling tee to tee. I'm surprised. He looks like he's going to take this up and bowl a short end. Or relatively short. Because he got it early on. It was when he got his score. Was when it was basically tee to tee.
Yeah.
Cole shortened it up to just over 3/4 length and then fought his way back. And they've played each other enough that he probably would know Cole's strengths and weaknesses. So obviously feels that Cole might be vulnerable in this area.
It's also a game of playing to your strength. That's what I've always been taught, is playing to your strength rather than your opponent's weakness. So I do know a lot of people tend to try and find their weakness and then, dominate as well. But
Well, it's been a good half hour since we've seen Taylor on here, so I hope it's warming up a little bit in Victoria for you. But there'll be a lot of them on their way up here to play the AA Open in June. So I think sort of early May, a lot come up for 3 or 4 months at a time.
absolutely, it's my favorite time of the year when all the visitors come back to Club Tweed and come back to the Gold Coast. It's great to have the Victorians come back, Tasmanians come back, New South Welshmen come back. So yeah, it's great time of the year at Club Tweed. Our social numbers really boost up, as well as our actual dual membership.
Yep. Yeah, I used to play a little bit of Burleigh Heads, and they have 2.5 greens there. And around late November, early December, you're lucky to fill 1 green for club play. Come sort of May, June, if you don't get your name down a week before, you don't get a game.
Absolutely, that's it. Yep.
And it's great to see them come up here, and I don't have no issues with that. On the narrow hand for Jeff. Better grass. Weight's pretty good too. Cole hasn't played a lot on the narrow hand, so I can understand why his weight's come through. He's been playing the wide hand. If I was him, I'd still play the wide hand here to sit that bowl, that last bowl of Jeff's. Because he knows the grass out there. It's been pretty good, certainly the last 5 or 6 ends in terms of weight. So in rank 2, Colin Bray's jumped out to a 7 lead over Jennifer. He stayed on the narrow hand. One of my friends from Helensvale, Luke Turner, he knows what it's like to be cold down there, originally from Tasmania.
Yeah.
Very good bowler in his own right.
Good morning, Luke.
He's done a little bit of commentary. He and I worked together to do the final of the Helensvale singles last year. between Isaac Morn and Brett Wilkie. It was a good game too.
Yeah.
That's not too bad a delivery style there. Looks a little wide, but it might turn onto the blue and sit for shot.
Yep.
And has.
Very nice
Brilliant.
reply.
Cole looks like he's going narrow hand again. You would think this would have enough weight to reach the head, try and sit the wide out and or take the jack.
Yep. It's definitely got the pace on it.
That's clever.
Inside edge. Oh,
Oh, now he's put it over to Jeff's bowl.
unlucky.
There might be two down there too.
Yeah. That was the
Patricia-
right idea, though.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be short. Want to be up and through that. Just the way that head was sitting.
Jeff doesn't want to disturb where the jack is
No.
now because it's very unlikely it'll go back. So we can draw something better than his second shot. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. No, it's knocked
Just
one
the
out of there.
one.
So what's Cole looking to do here? Play a lot of weight and try and double kiss the jack on the shot bowl?
I probably wouldn't. Like, I think this is a situation where going one down is not a horrible option.
He just asked Patricia the marker how far short the jack was, which is a good
Yeah.
question.
If anything, there's that little angle inside on the tight hand as well. So let's see what. Yeah, he's playing the other hand. That's all
It's
right.
too narrow.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Well, it's only one down. He was two down until
Yeah.
Jeff helped him out. Tightens the game up 8-9. They might have enjoyed being out here late last night. They might want to be out here again this morning the way they're going.
exactly.
The first to 21 and advances through to the semis.
They were very unlucky. They were. We only had 6 people playing yesterday after. Yesterday in the post sectional, playing 2 games. So, you know, if one of these 2 go on to eventually win it, they've done it the hard way.
Yeah, there was only 3 games
Yeah.
late yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
And the other one, the person who advanced through was Jennifer Holt. So
Yes.
she's playing Cole Bray this morning. So I didn't look to see where he put the jack here. Did he? 3/4 length again?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Looks a touch underweight, but it's pretty good grass.
Pretty good start. It also blocks off that wide hand that he's been playing so well.
Interestingly, when one person's much stronger on one hand to the other, so say someone's got a very good backhand, would you indicate to your lead to try and go backhand just in case it makes it difficult for that person to get in there?
Yeah, potentially. I think a lot of the times, like if you are leading in a force, you'd want to match the opposing lead. So just stick to their hand, because then you're either getting in their way or you're getting there first on
Yes.
that hand as well. So
Yeah, those that haven't started playing bowls, it doesn't take very long to get the hang of rolling the jack the right distance. Probably, if you don't pick it up in 6 months,
yeah,
you know, it's surprising. Someone will pick it up in 2 months.
yes,
But
exactly.
then becomes a tricky part of the game, reading
Yeah.
the heads and working out the
Yes.
strategies. And that takes a lot longer
That's
than
it.
6 months.
Yes.
And that's where you need to play under a good lead or someone to tutor you, I think, more than anything else, once you've got some reasonable technique.
Yeah, and I think that's why live stream is such a great option as well. You can go back and watch, like either of these guys can go back and watch this game and go, where have I tactically gone wrong? You know, go back and look at a certain situation or a certain head and just revisit it as well.
That's a good bowl by Cole there, because that bowl of Jeff's was in his way, really. Just had to trust that he had the right grass to get around it. And Jeff's doing the right thing following him here, because he can either turn his bowl over and or sit the shot bowl. Well, it looks a little narrow and a little underweight. But I think it was the right play. The other hand's almost blocked off for him. The game on rank 3's tied up 9-all and 4's 9-10. So Graham and Frederick are having a cracking game, as with Steve and Heather. Cole's jumped out a little bit against Jennifer. Can understand why Cole went that way. He didn't want to turn Jeff's bowl in for shot.
Yeah, that's understandable.
That was a big follow through, so
Probably just
they
searching.
might get the jack here.
Oh, yeah.
Got lucky to get it, but he
Yep.
got it. Right. So he's probably holding one, but there's a bit of room there for Cole to get in. I'd say anything inside 2 metres is going to be the shot.
Yeah, Colin Bray's jumped out to a handy lead now over Jennifer. And that's a great shot.
Yep. Take him to double figures. Yeah, that's almost an insurmountable lead.
Yeah.
18-5 when you play to 21. And that might be the fatigue for Jennifer, because she played late yesterday afternoon as well.
She did, yeah. She was the only one that had a bye through the first post-sectional game.
Okay.
So she waited around, and then she played the second post-sectional game. So, but yes, she was here until probably 6:30 last night. So.
I shouldn't be biased, but I play pairs with Coles every Friday. So for me, it's nice to see that scoreline. I'm
Yeah.
sorry Jennifer hasn't put up a better fight to this stage. He had a great series, Cole, last year in Warrnambool, where Queensland
Yep.
won the state titles for the first time. Victoria won it on all other occasions, although the first few years it was just New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah.
He went through, played 8 matches and won 7 of them.
Brilliant.
So,
Yeah.
it's one of the best performed.
I know they were incredibly proud of that performance last year, and we're lucky enough to be hosting the National Arm Bowlers later at the end of the year.
Good.
So yeah, we'll be excited to host them all.
Well, it's good that they're playing the state finals here, because they're getting used to the green.
Exactly.
Mind you, they'll be a little different at that time of the year, but Jeff now going on the wide hand first choice. Yeah, made a fair fist of it too. From this angle, it looks like he may just have it, but it's tight. Look at the breeze in the background. The flag's hardly moving.
Yeah, yesterday we had quite the windy day.
Yes, later on, especially
yeah,
yesterday.
Absolutely. And it just dies off at about 5 o'clock.
Good bowl, Cole.
Great bowl.
That's a very good bowl, right in behind. Makes it difficult to get the jack back. It's a lot of green on that hand. Does Cole stay there or not now? It's a bit of a nuisance, that bowl. I suppose he goes around that,
Yeah.
sit the other bowl.
Might be a nice track back to the... Ultimately, he's probably just looking to sit the white bowl.
Yeah, just stay wide.
Yep.
he won't have enough weight, even if it hits that front bowl, to knock it into shot. He's now put in a double blocker, or has he? Ooh.
Close.
No, don't think it's there.
We officially have our first semi-finalist. Colin Bray has defeated Jennifer Holt 21-5.
And Colin will play the winner of this match in the next round. Great effort. Now he's got a chance with it. Cole goes backhand here. No, he's smart move going to the forehand, because if he goes backhand there and touches the jacket, probably could go to Jeff. I don't know if he's going to finish back there. He was just trying to cover the two white bowls on the side there, split them if he could. So Jeff comes in and just snicks the jack and hits the bowl straight after it. Could end up with a few. I don't know if he's got enough weight. Oh, had to give it a run.
Just a bit underdone for that shot.
Seven of the 8 bowls were either on the line or to the west side of the line, which is not unusual on this rink. So gradually getting there, sneaking to 11-8. First to 21. In the round robins when they first started, they played 15 ends.
Yes.
And got one winner out of that. Then they went to 21 up from there on in. Just a big thanks to the sponsors for the live streaming in the event this week. Goodrich Australia for all your bowling apparel. Taylor Bowls, not just bowls, accessories as well. Macmax for green canopies, same as we have at Helensvale. And shade structures. Hunter Bowls there in Sydney, Castle Hill. They've got a lot of these bowling arms if you're chasing one of those to play with. And Club Tweed for the use of the facilities and the greens. A big thank you to all. That's how he bowled the first 4 or 5 ends. He had reasonable grasp, but it was coming up a metre plus short. And you're saying it's normally a little bit slow in the morning, so
Yes,
when does it start to pick up?
Typically, probably at this point in the game is when the green will start to pick up, when that roll comes off of the green as well. And we can feel it's getting that little bit warmer, so...
I'd noticed that the grass greens I've played on the coast, when you get to about 3 in the afternoon, they drop.
They will.
They drop a half second or a second almost immediately. And if you're coming up to play the Australian Open, it's something you need to get used to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you will be playing games at that time of the day.
Even coming from overseas, it's not something that typically happens that drastically. Like obviously in Canada, the greens are quite slow anyway, but it's a very dramatic sort of pace change that I think people from overseas don't typically experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's really good if you're going to play an afternoon game, just getting out and having a roll up around that 3-4 o'clock mark, so you can distinguish that pace change.
Another good roll from Cole. Leaves an avenue though there for Jeff. I'd like to see him just play a little bit of weight on some of these shots. He's just trying to draw to the head all the time. He's missed that. He let it go late again. And that's that timing you were talking about.
Yeah.
The releasing it.
It's so incredibly
almost
hard.
at the bottom of the arc or slightly on the up.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's opening for Cole here. If he can put something in close, it's going to put a bit of pressure on Jeff. Is he going to turn his own in here or just round the back? So just round the back takes out that weighted shot now that I was talking about for Jeff. So again, he's just bowling to the head. better track.
Looks like a much better release too.
That was the shot I was looking for, the previous shot, something like that. To either sit one of the bowls and stay and or take the jack. No, he's got no option but to draw with his last bowl because he's going to have to cut it down. Cole's got one behind, so he's looking to draw this in and maybe protect the jack if he can.
Yep, just really put the pressure on here for this shot.
You just don't want to put a nice line of bowls across the back there for him to run into. You can hide it in behind there, which he's done.
Yep.
That's ideal.
Yep, left a good gap too, so it's a pretty good bowl.
Well, he's responded quite well. Is it going to drop under? Here it comes. Oh.
What a shot. Almost.
Very close. I think he's beaten the front bowl. Has he beaten the bowl? It's jack high. Patricia musing over it. Hasn't got the marker out yet, so she's waiting for them to come up to make a decision. Current score 11-8. Cole was in the box seat here to make a jump, but I don't know. Maybe Jeff's even got shot here. No, he's given one to...
They're looking for two.
I thought the white had beaten that blue from the angle we were looking at there.
Yeah, the cameras are very deceiving.
Two. The other two matches still quite tight, 11-10 and 12-10. Over on ranks 3 and 4. Cole's in there having some well-earned lunch.
Early lunch, yes.
Breeze in the background, the flags are now dropped altogether. That would be a bit of an issue for the greenkeeper here to get air circulation around, especially with the clubhouse protecting the prevailing southerly southeasterlies.
Yep.
In terms of the cooking or drying the greens out.
Yeah, we typically have a bit of a wind tunnel through here, just with the way that the building is facing, and then as well across we have a large retirement village as well. So we typically have a wind tunnel that comes through in the afternoon and really changes.
That'd help.
Changes how you play as well. So
because the air that comes through, it's off the ocean, so it'd be quite heavy.
Yes.
Be moisture laden. Emma, how many years have you been at Club Tweed now? Be a few.
I started in 2022.
Okay.
So this would be in June, I think it would be my fourth year. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I've played here as soon as I came out from Canada.
Yep.
So I've been here 7 years playing here.
Right.
So absolutely love it. I've got some amazing members. As you can see as well, we've got a plethora of volunteers and
you need that.
yeah, absolutely. And some great staff here. Sitting around 120 staff, servicing the bars, kitchen, bistro, cafe.
Yep.
There's just some great staff here who
That's
have been here for a long, long time as well.
That's a good response from Jeff there. Down 13-8, he actually probably needs to win this or the next 10 at least. Yeah, another couple of scores by Colin, he'll get to a situation where it's hard to get him down, hard to track him down.
Tracking pretty well here.
Yeah, he can
Just
knock
a
his
kiss
own
on
in.
his own. Perfect.
Yeah. I venture to say that's probably shot. And does he stay on the narrow hand and turn that over, or no? Well, Jeff's got to go wide. He can't go the narrow hand. He's got to go wide and try and take the jack.
Yeah, just a nice trail around the corner.
When the coaches are teaching people with the arms, do they use videos to have a look at things like that or not, in general?
I'm sure that they would. Our bowling coach is Gordon Wood.
Yep.
He's a brilliant coach, so he picks up on anything that people may be doing. But I think that the most important thing is actually visual. You need to be able to see what you're doing wrong and where you're making the mistakes. So If anyone is having any little gimmicks with their delivery, I would definitely recommend having someone take a video, front, back, side angles of your delivery, and then you can also like slow motion it down just in your camera roll and just watch it over and over again and just see where you can improve.
He's played the right weight there. I think in the situation when you're learning to play with an arm, you've got to be tutored by someone that does play with an arm.
Exactly.
I don't think those people that roll with their hands, they can be a little bit of assistance, but I don't think they know enough about it.
No.
Unless they've actually done it themselves. So Cole's asking about, I'm bowled out to the side here, is it jack high or how far behind? Probably the blue bowl on the left of our screen. How far short of the jack is it? They might be looking to turn it in or use it to come in.
So Pat just indicating the blue and white bowl out on the left-hand side is third shot.
Yeah, but if he touches that or uses the inside of it, he can probably get in there for second shot.
Absolutely. Just left that weight behind.
Yeah. He shouldn't have been frightened then, because even if he ran into his own bowler, he's not going to move the jack back to the
Or if
second
he
shot.
missed it completely, he's around in a really good home with those white bowls. So looking to flip this.
Doesn't want too much weight onto his own bowl here. He's going to cause disaster. Oh, don't know now.
Yeah, that is the, I guess, sort of danger about playing that narrower hand. The more weight you put on it, it's just going to stick a little bit more on that hand in particular.
Just hangs out there. Well, he's conceded one. Now he's having a good look for the next. I'm going to say it's either one or it's three. Okay.
Two.
I think that's all Cole wants. He's happy with two. Yep. That's now a gap, a sizable gap now. When you're racing to 21. So the next end is a must for Jeff. He must pick up at least a one, get control of where the jack is, if he's to fight back at all.
It also is so easy to sort of have that buffer and then, you know, take your foot off the gas, so to speak. You can sort of settle into a comfortable place. So this is where it's really important for Colin to just keep doing what he's doing, put that pressure on early.
It's mindset. You go from being an aggressive or style bowler to being defensive.
Yeah.
Very hard to turn it around from defensive to go back to aggressive.
Yeah.
You find that in most sports. You know, trying to defend a big lead in football, you're better off playing the same way you were and make the lead even more, even though it's a riskier way of doing it. It's going to probably have more decent results for you.
Yep, and he's sticking to his...
That's narrow. He struggled to get it. It's been narrow and just underweight on that hand a lot. This one's probably better weight. But again, it's a metre-ish. I can see if he gets the feel for the green, he'd be quite deadly. He'd be...
Okay, Jeff. How are we navigating this?
It's a chance here.
That's it. Great start.
Brilliant.
Beautiful. That's what he needed.
He needs one or two of those.
It's good to get the confidence up, especially on that narrower hand.
So if you're going to defend that, so Cole now needs to put enough weight on to get past the jack and or hit the bowl. But past the jack first, and you've got to catch us, and you can play something.
Yeah, you're aiming to get past. If you're making a connection with it, that's a bonus.
Yep, that's what you're after.
Yep,
Something had a chance and it's passed. That's ideal.
Perfect.
Now he wants to come up and see exactly what it looks like.
He's only played 2 balls.
You normally have to ask permission from the marker or...
Typically, yep, you'd have to ask permission
Yeah.
from the marker, and then they would allow you to come up.
So Jeff currently at Mooloolaba. He was a Caloundra prior to that. And I think he started most of his bowls at Woombai. Oh, you don't want to touch your own bowl here. No damage, but it's giving him a nice gateway to have a run out now with a catcher behind.
Yep.
They're both playing with aerodynamic fives.
Wow.
So there's no advantage depending on what the grass
Yeah.
or the wind or anything
Yeah.
like that is. It's the same. I've got an old set of tailors I play with, the old SRs.
Yep.
I
What
actually-
size are they?
They're fours, but
Okay.
I had them, well, the doctor at Koano, the bowls doctor
the
that is.
bowls doctor, yep.
He had a good look, and one was a little bit out, and he fixed it up for me. And now I have no fear of taking whatever bowl I like.
Yep.
Surprised I didn't get that to the head.
Screen closed on me.
Yeah, I'm worried about this shot again. If he's got weight here, he's going to jump it out.
Oh.
Might have made two out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, he has.
All right.
Wow. So Cole's looking to take the jack.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeff's got nothing behind.
Yeah, he's got
Or
a
if
few
he's
options.
narrow, his bowl will pop the
Pop
other
out,
wide out.
exactly.
He may get shot off
Yeah.
that or not. Or he can hit the inside of that left-hand one and take the jack through with him.
Lots of options here.
It's narrow. Just narrow.
That-
Yeah. Two away. And one bowl to come. In your pocket.
No, you have to be fearless in this situation, I think.
Just taking a considered look at it. I'll tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't bowl it. If you bowl backhand and you bowl under that and touch the white bowl, you knock the jack back. It's hard to get under the short blue bowl to take the jack out of play.
Even if he's just short, it's good to have
Yeah.
a practice. You know, I'm not a massive fan of,
Put it in your
declare.
pocket?
Yeah, no, not a massive fan. You can always learn from something.
You need bigger pockets.
Yeah, it's true, true. Yeah, you can always learn from something. So even if he's short and on the line and he's just practicing to get his line, that's beneficial to him.
I would probably go on the side of the mat here and just under the front bowl and try to sit the outside blue bowl.
Yep.
That way you cut down the angles of hitting the jack. We got just under that line. Yeah. Right, I think gets him back, not in the match, but certainly he was in a situation where it was getting out of control.
Yeah, and that end started with his first bowl effectiveness. He played a great shot, just navigating underneath the blue bowl
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Collins. So
As you said, in fours, if you can squeeze it in there with that first bowl, it makes it harder for the rest coming. I think if I was Jeff, I'd be going tee to tee here because he was strong early on in the game with that. And it looks like he's got the mat back a fair way. Looks like that's what he's trying to do here. Yep. If it's not on the tee, it's very close to it. So now, first 4 or 5 ends, he really favoured the narrow side. He bowled nothing out wide.
So you can hear and see that wind just picking up a
Little
little
of breeze,
bit.
yeah. I can see the windsock down the end of the other green there. As if you got sort of 5 to 10 k's blowing now. Oh,
Another great start.
wow.
He didn't
Okay.
even need us to watch that one.
No, game on.
And especially navigating that narrow side still. So yeah, he's doing a good job putting the pressure back on. This is
Give it a tap.
good
Need
effort.
Yeah, it's a good second, but need to be behind. The other matches on rank 3 and 4 are still quite tight. Only a shot on each of them.
We have to give a little shout out to our only Osprey left, Fred Smith. He's only just transitioned to a bowling arm, I would say, within the last 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
So he's doing
He's picked it up
incredibly
quickly.
well.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
picked it up quickly.
Yeah, he's a great member. First one to volunteer for anything or ask us if we need a hand. So, yeah, good for Fred. And he's having a really tight battle with Graham.
Yeah. Graham's got a fair bit to do with the coverage as well. So
Yes, yeah.
he was in here apologising this morning for playing too well and not being involved. And I'm like, Graham, get out there and do your stuff.
Yeah.
It's about the
You'd
bowling.
rather be playing than commentating, I think, most of the time.
Yeah. That looks narrow.
Especially with that wind picking up on that hand as well. Yeah.
He's still behind though. He needs to get them behind. Unless he sits the shot bowl to pop it out of there. Jeffrey's followed him too. Yeah, those two are not to the standard they've been bowling at all morning. It's a couple of loose ones.
Yeah, particularly when the wind does pick up from that hand, it will become quite massive. So you just have to trust that it will come back.
Just having a look over at rank 4, I see Steve's got the honour in the next end, so he's picked up, I don't know, 1 or 2 shots to make a little gap. First to 21, that is. That's the end of it. That's a better looking bowl, but again, it's not here. Now he's got no option. He's used 3 bowls, he's got nothing behind. So even if he runs into the shot bowl, it's going to go back with the jack.
Yep.
15-10. Another one if he gets 15-11, it's like, okay. If he had last bowler, you'd be trying to hit the shot bowl, but you haven't got last bowl. The surface on the greens is really nice. I had a walk down there before. It's got some good colour in it. I know it looks a little grey on the screen, but it's got a fair bit of green tinge for this time of the year. The greenkeeper's doing a good job here.
Yeah, absolutely. Darcy and our team of 3 other full-time green staff as well. They're doing an excellent job. I do know this green was laser leveled 3.5, 4 months ago, so it's
Okay.
come back really well. First time it's been laser leveled in quite some years. So it had that little bit of an extended period, an extended time of a break, which it definitely needed. So
What a bowl.
what a shot.
Oh, gee, that's got to be close to second shot. See if Patricia gets these paddles out. And puts
Just one.
Just one.
Still good, blocks up the angle.
Yeah. Well, he can't get in there anyhow because
No.
he's got nothing behind as a catcher.
No.
His hands are tied here.
You just
The only shot, he's got to go
The
wide on the
perfect
back
draw.
hand and draw
Exactly,
it perfectly.
yeah.
Unless he can hit his front bowl onto the shot bowl. But if he does that, he might knock the other one into 2.
exactly, yeah. I'd just be looking to draw it cold, play the perfect ball.
Yeah. I could probably do it, but I might be there for about 3 or 4 hours before I put one in that's good enough.
It definitely looks easier sitting here and talking about it, isn't it? Easier said than done. But also, I think, you know, if you were to play a fair bit of pace at this bowl, then you're not setting yourself up for the next end. As we've seen in the last two ends, Jeff has put his first bowl right on
Yep.
top of the jack. So if Jeff does fail that next end, Colin needs to be confident to draw a really good bowl here. Put the pressure back on Jeff.
Yeah, Steve got the honour there. He's picked up 3 on that rink 4. He's now 3 ahead of Heather. Not quite on the springboard, which is 17. 4 bowls will get you out. That's not a bad effort. You better be right about the call there. You don't want to be too down.
No.
Because it'd be a completely different shot you'd be playing. No, she's called 1 and she's off.
Yeah.
She's not waiting around for any. But Patricia and herself, and you know, she's played for Australia and the state, and you know, she knows what she's doing.
Absolutely. She's her and Gordon are both assets to this club in terms of marking, volunteering, coaching, as well as very handy bowlers. So we're lucky to have them.
Handy. You're playing for the state and the nation. You're more than handy.
Absolutely.
In the bowl shop here, do you have the arms for sale? Just one brand, or you have?
That's a good question. I believe there are a couple, but they're always changing between brands.
Because I think Jeff's bowling with the DHB, which
Yep.
is a fairly common bowling arm as such. And I know they put a new additive on there. You can change the size of the bowls a lot easier because they're really
Okay.
built for size 5 bowls to start with.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of these bowlers went to size 5 after that, but now
Yes.
it's not so bad.
Because
the-
then that's changing your entire, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
like collection. Like you have to buy a bowling arm, plus you have to buy size 5s. And typically, you're not playing with a size 5
No.
if you're playing.
There's very few players play with 5s. And Cole's got quite a sawn off one. It's only sort of half size
Yeah.
one. I play quite often with a guy called Ray Glasser.
Yeah.
And he's got one of the short ones as well, and he's fairly proficient with it. Okay, he's put a couple in there again. He's asking the questions. Cole needs to lift here. He doesn't want to get Jeff get any closer than that at the moment. Don't know if he's wide enough again.
No.
He struggled with that the whole morning. Better wait. I don't know why that is. Well, just pour another one in there, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little tickle on the jack wouldn't hurt. Well, there was 2, that's certainly 3. So he's gone to the narrow side now. Well, that's put a stop
Yep.
to that, hasn't it?
For sure.
So I'm going to say he needs to play some weight here.
Yeah.
Either take the jack with him or take the bowl out of there so he's got shot.
To the bowl, touch the jack. If he's got the weight.
It's too wide. And the weight
Yeah.
is not going to turn.
No.
That hurts. It's an opportunity missed.
Just does 3/4 of the way down that rink in particular does have that sort of kick out and kick back with that kind of weight. So
And dynamics, so they don't turn a lot, do they?
yeah, no. Yeah, they definitely won't be as forgiving on that hand as, say, an Optima or any other wide or biased bowl.
We can draw a second here. 17-11 on the springboard. Looks to be overweight. Maybe not. Maybe it's in there. Ooh.
Great bowl.
Yeah, that's a decisive
like
two there.
yeah.
And that's a decisive two. That's putting the match solidly in Colin's favour now. 17-11.
Yeah, pretty good swap over from that wide hand to the
Yes.
narrower hand.
Yeah, he's got two good
Played
bowls
a
in
great
there.
shot with his third and then followed it up with the fourth.
He had good weight with
Yes,
that forehand, but he
yes.
just the line wasn't there. And Fred's making a little jump for you. 17-13 on rank 3. And Steve's still ahead on rank 4. I can see he's just taken the honour again, so he's picked up at least one on that end.
Do we know who won last year's singles?
No,
Is
I
the
don't.
defending champion still going? That
I do
might
not
be
know that. I need to find that out.
Yeah. That'll be some homework for you. We can figure that out and let the viewers know.
I'll get my spies out on it
Yeah.
start after this match
Yeah.
and see what they have to say.
Exactly. Or maybe someone listening knows. Let us know if you can remember last year's champion.
They play here last year or not?
No,
Musgrave
they did
Hill?
not. I believe it.
It wasn't at Helensvale.
No, I believe it was at Paradise Point.
Well, Graham will certainly know. I know Cole played in it, so Cole will
Yes.
know.
Well, we'll do some homework.
Cole Bray, that is, not Cole Pritchard. Coming back to the clubhouse, where the jack is here is relatively sheltered from the breeze. And where they're bowling from, there's a little bit of a breeze out there. You can see the flag in the background. Maybe 5, closer to 8 knots. Just fluctuates in and out, and then it drops off for a while. Jeff a little overweight. Steve Mexted's out to 17-14 against Heather Hodgson. That looks a little narrow again. You narrow both hands, backhand and forehand, a lot of the time, Cole. Still room there for Graham to get it under that. For Jeffrey to get it under that, sorry, not Graham. Well, that's a good enough track to get under it. Now it's all dependent on the weight. Okay, so he's put another one in there.
Good
That's
bowl.
a number of ends. He's put good bowls in there. He was holding 3 on the last end before Cole put a couple of good finishing bowls in to get 2. Really needs to pick up something this end. It's better grass from Cole. Probably just over. Jeff staying on the forehand. Down the hill. Not that there's a hill there, we're looking to roll it out. Probably not in, I'd say 1 at best. Oh, big chance here for Colin. If he can take the jack with him, there's every chance he can pick up 3 here. And I think that might be enough to put him into the next round.
It's on a relatively good line here.
Yeah. Just round the back again, but might be just out of the count, that one. All right, Jeffrey, you need to get it there. Even if you miss or bowl, I might sit around the back on the blues.
Mm-hmm. That would be the ideal shot.
It's going to sit one of the blues, but probably not the right one.
Oh,
Oh, it has, I reckon. Yeah, he's definitely got one. Good bowl there. It had every chance.
yep, for sure. Inside of the ball.
You know, he could have run into his front bowl,
Yep.
knocked it up just shy of the blues and stayed there for two. Fluctuating game. He was holding 3 in the last end and Cole got 2. And this end, if Cole picks up the jack, he'd get 2 or 3.
Yes.
And now Jeffrey's come in there and sat out the shot bowl probably, just for a single, but it stopped the rot.
Yeah, it's all about the momentum shifts. I think that's the biggest name of the game in bowls, just stopping that momentum. Like you were saying earlier about defensive play versus that more aggressive offensive play.
Tricia was probably just confirming the score with them there. And that makes a difference, having a good marker when you play.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing worse than you bowl to the head and they go, oh, you one up, and you get up there and you're one down.
Exactly.
And you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you would have played different shots.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to, like, as well follow your bowls to the head. Like, if you do get in a habit of following your bowls to the head, just making sure that they are calling, you know, the right shots, because you can build that sort of rapport and trust with your marker as well, so that later on in the game you can trust them and trust what they're saying. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
No one's trying to be malicious, but yeah, it does look different at different angles as well. And these people are volunteers. You have to remind yourself that as well. When you come up for the Australian Open, all of these people are just volunteering their time.
Geez, a few people come up, don't they? I noticed that,
Yeah.
like the
yeah.
single entries, male and female, you're probably upwards of 500 or 1,500.
Yeah, I think it's more than that for the men's singles.
Well, men's normally about 11 or 1,200, but
Yeah.
there would be another 500 or 600 ladies playing,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah, good shot there.
Great shot there.
Yeah, every year it just keeps building and building. With the added event of the mixed pairs again, that's great as well.
Okay.
So you can play with your partner if you're coming up for a holiday, or son or daughter, and I think it's just an excellent event. It filled up very, very quickly. I think I put my entry in on the third day it was open, and it was already at 60% capacity. So good shot there.
Wow, be interested to see who shot here. Okay, he got shot with that bowl. Well done, Jeff. There's a good bowl in there. Okay, Colin will need to stay there, sit that bowl and or touch the jack. Ooh, it's drifting out. Might have got a bit of wind, that one. Oh, but it got the rub. Oh, leave me alone. Yeah, you don't really put your hand up for those ones.
No. Yeah.
Now holding 2. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a big change there.
That changes everything. It really does.
I think he's even got a smile on his face from here.
Yeah.
Why
Let's
wouldn't you
not
when you get a
zoom in
rub
on
like
that
that?
one. That was the ultimate result.
If he gets there, he's got a chance.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, just unlucky. Got the wrong edge of that one.
Mind you, in terms of the last bowl, it's probably better it did that than sit the blue,
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
harder to get in there with your last
Exactly.
bowl. Good head at this stage of the game. Yeah, let's see what the wind does to this one.
Is he arriving?
He might be blocking it here.
Could be, yep. Well, it's definitely in the way.
Hard bowl to bowl on the forehand and get in there. You can hit the wide onto it,
Yeah, you can play up and through the white. He's got a bowl behind. Hopefully there's enough space for that jack to squeeze through. Just sort of depends on the angles.
but the scores on rank 4 is 17-14 in the measuring for shot. Well, Jeffrey lines up his bowl. I think Steve won the measure there.
Trying to navigate around this
Needs to
one.
dive. We're not going to know whether it's diving or not. And we'll say one of the blue. 18-12. 3 needed for Cole. Oh, he's still got one left, one bowl left.
I might just step out, guys. I've got to
You're
start
good,
doing
Emma.
the scorecards for the next game and the nameplates. So
Emma
just
Boyd,
make sure
thank you for
they're
your
all
time in
good.
here.
Thank you, guys. This has been a
Valuable.
great game.
Valuable information about Club Tweed and what's going on down here.
Absolutely. Always great to jump on the commentary. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. I'm just looking to bring it round that front bowl. The wind's shifted it out to the side there. Weight was beautiful. So one blue, 18-12. Over in ring 4, it's all tied up. My goodness. 17 all, both on the springboard. That'll be an interesting game to see the finish of. Thanks to the Maroon Arm Bowling Association, basically for their efforts in the organisation of this annual state championship. Also, they select a state team and go a long way to selecting the national team. Very professional on what they've done, what I've seen of it so far. And the sponsors for their help here, obviously Club Tweed. We're just speaking with Emma Boyd there. Hunter Bowls. Go and get your bowling arm down in Castle Hill in Sydney. All your essential things for bowling, along with Taylor Bowls, good lawn bowls and the accessories to go with it. Goodrich Australia for the clothing, the bowling apparel that's available in a lot of the shops. And Max Australia for the canopies and shade structures that most of the bowling clubs use. I know the Helensvale and Mooloolaba both have magnificent shaded areas to bowl under. So far we've only got one person through to the semi-finals. That's Colin Bray, 21-5. Closing in on the other 3 entrants here. Colin Pritchard, in the driving seat in this match. Stephen Heather on rink 4 toe-to-toe, and Frederick Smith, local member, against Graham Otters in a good position at this stage. But certainly not gifted a spot yet. Nice opening bowl from Colin. As I said, we're watching the state championship of the Queensland Arm Bowlers. And how this was set up in the first round, they played in groups of 3, one person to progress through that section. Then there was knockouts. Colin Pritchard took out the local Douglas Kleinhans, 21-19, tight game as we watch Jeff bowl his forehand down here trying to get shot. So stand corrected, that's Colin's bowl. Jeff won his match quite comfortably, 21-9 against Kevin Milne. Needs to turn a little. It looks to just be on the inside of it. Not there though.
This game's finished as well.
So I just had information. I think Frederick Smith's game's finished. I would fancy if that's the case, then he's picked up a number on the last end or one of the last ends. We're just checking the results there for you. Oh, it's a very well positioned bowl, holding 3, and that's game. So Jeff needs something in there. No prizes for being short with this one. Giving it plenty of grass. Little slide off the front one's good. Ooh, he's unlucky there. $18.12. Do you cover the back? I think you'd probably try and put something in that makes it difficult for Jeffrey to get in there. If this dives across the front, I think it's going to. Well, he's holding 4. There's a little avenue there, but he's got to be precise with it. All or nothing here. Needs to turn. Got some weight. Not enough. And that'll be victory to Colin Pritchard in this match. And Jeffrey said earlier that he's actually never beaten him in competition. So unfortunately that continues. So he'll play Colin Bray this afternoon. That match we're looking at around about 11:15, so that's 20 minutes away, provided we get things set up for the match. Over on rink 3, Frederick Smith through, so you got a local in the final. And he'll play the winner of Steve and Heather. So we've still got one match out there. We're moving from rink 1, I think, over to rink 3 for the next match. So we need to get those cameras repositioned in time. I thank you for your following this morning. I thank Emma Boyd for her time. I'm Aussie Moore. I hope you enjoyed the quarterfinal matches of the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championship. Thank you.